welcome to the first broadcast of Down the Middle. I am your host, Xavier Ortega, alongside on controls, my father. What can I call you by your real name, Pops? Marlon Ortega. And we are hot off the heels of Summerslam 2020. Yes, 2020 has not been kind to us at all, but you know what? Sometimes you need to escape real life and enter the world of professional wrestling, and WWE has really been trying their best lately. But I think they nailed it really great with SummerSlam. So, the show is emanating from the so-called WWE Thunderdome, which is actually the Amway Center. But the way they have created it, they have put LED curves around the ring with virtual fans, and I'm just gonna tell you, this is my opinion, but these virtual fans suck. If it was me on there, I would be reacting to my fullest. But nitpicks out of the way, let's get on with the actual show. So the show begins with Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, defending her title against Asuka. And I'm just gonna say this: heel Bayley and heel Sasha together have been the most cringiest and annoying thing on WWE television. So bad that I need to mute the TV every time I see them on Raw or SmackDown. They're just unbearable. I just cannot. Anyway, they have been embroiled in this feud with Asuka over the SmackDown and Raw Women's Championships, the two main Women's Championships on both shows. Anyway, Bayley and Asuka, they have a really good match, and it's an important note to hear. It's important to note here that up until tonight, Bayley has never beaten Asuka in the 5 matches they've had against each other, not including house shows or dark matches. Bayley has lost all 5 matches to Asuka, but she came through here. In the closing moments of the match, they had a really good match. I'm not going to go into specifics. Bayley doing her heel work, Asuka doing some of her good work. And the closing of the moments of the match, Asuka was trying to get the upper hand. Bayley rolled her up after an interference by Sasha Banks on the outside. And finally, in the first time of her entire career, Bayley actually got a win over Asuka. So she retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. And even though I hate her cringy work on WWE TV, it is impressive that she has been the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. That is impressive. Either way, now it's time to move on to the next match of the night, which is Andrade Cien Almas. That's right, I'm referring him to his actual name. And Angel Garza, accompanied by Zelina Vega, versus Angel Dawkins, Montez Ford, the Street Profits. And I will just say that the Street Profits' entrance on SummerSlam was pretty fun. Solo cups raining down the ceiling. I mean, the Red Solo Cup is basically the #1 cup in the world, so you can't beat that. Anyway, the story leading into this was that in the build-up to the tag team match, it was noted that Montez Ford got poisoned and was taken off TV. But then, as we saw on this week's Raw, that it was actually revealed that Zelina Vega actually poisoned Montez's drink. And I still don't get why people aren't smart these days. I mean, if you're going to commit an act, make sure there is no evidence to show. Make sure there are no cameras. And why didn't Zelina check for cameras if she was going to do that? Anyway, the Street Profits and Andrade and Angel Garza, great match. You know, these 4 guys who are basically the standard bearers of the tag team division on Raw, because half the tag team division is either in lockdown or injured or released because of the whole real world stuff. Anyway, in the closing moments of the match, Zelina Vega gets on the apron, probably try to cost Street Profits the match, and then Montez Ford bumps into her and knocks her off of the apron onto the concrete floor. And come on, Zelina, you've been nailing Hurricane Ranas on guys, so I don't know why you didn't expect that. That's just kind of on you. Anyway, so after Zelina gets knocked off, Angel Garza tries to go for the wing clipper, but then Montez gets out of it. He tries to go for Andrade, but Andrade is super busy checking on Zelina. And then Street Profits nail their finishing move for the 1-2-3, and they retain the Raw Tag Team Championships. And I'm going to say this right now, and many people might disagree with me, but I think if the Street Profits ever split up, Montez Ford is going to be the Shawn Michaels. Sorry, Docs, but I see Montez as a solo competitor. Anyway, next match of the night, Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. Now, this was originally supposed to be hair versus hair with Sonya Deville trying, after she cut Mandy Rose's hair. But after the whole recent events over the last week in Sonya Deville's life, she almost got kidnapped, and I think someone broke into her house. I think that having a loser leaves WWE match so that Sonya can recover after what she experienced was a great call by the company. Anyway, so the match turned into a no disqualification, loser leaves match. Loser leaves WWE match. And Sonya and Mandy really try to put on a great match. I think they try to be like the main roster equivalent to Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai, but maybe they just didn't fulfill the void. Anyway, so Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, they really do have a great no disqualification match. And in the closing moments of the match, Mandy Rose hits a few knees on Sonya Deville and beats her and pins her and sends her out of WWE. So, Sonya, we're gonna miss you on WWE TV. I hope you feel better. Now, next match of the night, and the match that I was really intrigued for, my spiritual but unofficial half brother, just kidding, Dominic Mysterio versus the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. Now, the build-up to this was actually pretty good. I think this is probably one of the most meaningful last moments that Ray might have with the company. After his feud with Lesnar last year, I think Ray has really gotten a chance to shine this time. If you don't know the full context of the story, after Money in the Bank 2020, Seth Rollins tried to... Well, actually, he tried to extract Ray's eye from his body, from his head. And then that led to the whole inclusion of Dominic. That led to I still can't believe they did this, an eye for an eye match. Which was supposed to be how the match is supposed to end, with your opponent's eye being torn out of its eye sockets, and that's how you won the match. Now, I'm sorry if I'm taking away from the Dominic and Rollins match, but you still need to understand the full context of this feud to understand why this match happened. So back to the eye for an eye match. In the closing moments of the match, Seth does like what he did on the night after Money in the Bank 2020, takes the corner of the steps and shoves Ray's eye into it. And this still looks... I still can't believe they did this, because they actually put themselves to a corner. They probably thought to themselves, oh wait, we can't actually have one of our employees' eyes actually taken out of their body part. So, the way they finished this match, the Ray and Rollins match from like last month, they had like Ray's eye like totally out of his like he tried to cover up his face, and you could so see the eye on his like forehead. It was extremely funny. It looks extremely cartoonish, and that's what led to the Dominic and Rollins match. Now, finally, onto the Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins match. Seth Rollins, I give him credit here. He came out as 1997 Rey Mysterio back when he was in WCW. Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins had a really, really, really good match. Not a great, not a bad way to start a first impression on your first match, Dominic. And I will say, in the past weekend, Pat McAfee and Dominic Mysterio really impressed the hell out of us. You know, two guys who we thought wouldn't work in a wrestling ring. Turns out they actually worked their asses off. So Seth Rollins and Dominic Mysterio tells a good story with Rey Mysterio and his entire family. They cuff Rey Mysterio in the ring. And when they try to bludgeon him with candlesticks, just like they did with Dominic, Rey Mysterio's wife, Angie, comes out, and it looks like Seth was like about to make her a sacrifice, and then Dominic stopped him, and then the match leads into the ring, where Rey, still handcuffed to the ropes, watches as Seth nails the curb stomp on Dominic, and wins the match. Not a bad first impression, Dominic. Congratulations. Alright, we will take a short break. We'll see you soon.
If you're in the Lincoln Square neighborhood, come by and enjoy a tasty treat at the Lincoln Ice Cream Company, located at 4919 North Lincoln Avenue in Chicago. Try our homemade waffles, biscuits and gravy, along with other delicious treats. We also serve all-natural Hershey's ice cream. So stop by the Lincoln Ice Cream Company at 4919 North Lincoln Avenue. That's 4919 North Lincoln Avenue. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to Down the Middle. Well, back to SummerSlam 2020 recap. The next match of the night is Asuka versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. Just like the ridiculousness concerning Sasha Banks and Bayley and Asuka, this match actually exceeded the one that they had on Raw and they had on Extreme Rules. Sasha and Asuka have put on quite a few bangers in the past few months, and it all started with Sasha looking like she was going to challenge Bayley for her title at Extreme Rules, and then pull a swerve on us because we're not allowed to be happy. Pull a swerve on us and challenge Asuka at Extreme Rules, which then led to the fluke finish at Extreme Rules, which then led to the rematch on Raw, which then led to the departure of Kairi Sane on TV, then led to here. So, Asuka and Sasha Banks have a really, really good match. And finally, Sasha, I think, is now going to turn on Bayley because she just lost the Raw Women's Championship to Asuka. And the seeds are starting to grow. Sasha and Bayley have now lost one title in a useless attempt to recreate the two-man power trip with Triple H and Stone Cold all those years back. They will start to feud with each other for the SmackDown Women's Championship, something we have all waiting for. I don't even care if it has anything to do with championships. We just want Sasha and Bayley to feud with each other. That's all we want. Now it's time to close in with the two world title matches. First, the WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. Now, these two may have fought in the earlier part of the year, but now that Randy has become full-on heel and Drew has become full-on babyface, this match I was actually excited for. So Randy Orton, who is probably still embroiled in this feud with Edge, I still don't want to happen. Like, Edge might come back and feud with Randy, but I want Edge to come back and fight with other guys. Like, I want to see Edge versus Rollins, Edge versus Ricochet, Edge versus AJ Styles. I want to see Edge versus Fiend. I do not want to see Edge versus Randy Orton over and over again. Now, in the McIntyre and Orton match, these two actually bled during the match. It didn't blade, but they actually put on a really good match. The only problem that I have with this match, all that hype and all that build-up, and it ends with a backslide. So you're telling me that they hyped up Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, which is probably going to be a classic, and it ends in a backslide pin. I am speechless. But either way, Drew, I'm happy you're still champion. Now we move on to the main event. And it is The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman. Bray Wyatt, with the most captivating and awesome entrance of all time, still nails it. But I'm just going to say this. Out of all the entrances that The Fiend has had, none will still compare to his SummerSlam 2019 entrance, his debut entrance. That was perfectly awesome. Or Royal Rumble 2020 might have been it. So no. Anyway, The Fiend and Braun Strowman, which started all the way in May. I think that the whole build-up for this was Funhouse Bray goes after Braun. Then Wyatt Family Bray goes after Braun at Extreme Rules. Then it was all going to lead to The Fiend versus Braun Strowman. And I'm just going to say this. I do not like Braun's bald hair. I do not like Braun's bald look. He looks way better with hair. He does not look okay as bald. Looks totally creepy. Anyway, Strowman and Fiend have a great Falls Count Anywhere match. It actually takes to the backstage, which I wanted to see. You know, them do like some crazy like editing tricks with the Fiend, but it still exceeded expectations, and the finish did felt kind of rushed, but it still was great, and it still led to an even amazing moment, and that was the return of Roman Reigns. You totally do, Roman. Now, if you guys don't know, Roman did not participate in any TV tapings or any pay-per-views because he is most risk at this time with the whole disease and the virus going on. Because of his leukemia. But since that Roman Reigns knows that WWE are probably not going live and now in a bigger arena, it seems that he is now okay to come back. And he looked totally different here. This is not like the normal smiling Reigns that we've seen in the past. This is truly some like early first year Shield Roman Reigns. Like go back and like watch some of the first year of the Shield. Like look at Roman Reigns then. That totally resembles what we saw now. I hope Roman Reigns stays with this attitude. I hope they give him a new theme. I hope they give him a new look. And he really needs to be a heel. Like, you look at his return. Like, he is so different now. And we're probably, I don't know, we're probably going to get Fiend versus Roman. Or Fiend versus Roman versus Braun at Payback. But still, Roman Reigns returning. Totally. Well, everybody, that was the conclusion and the wrap-up of Down the Middle. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you very soon. Oh, yeah, and if you want more content like this, make sure you follow LIT Enterprises. Thank you, and good night.